Hello there, welcome back to Books and Tea with Sarah. I'm yours truly, and today I'm drinking David's Irish Breakfast tea, which I will leave down below in the description. It's really good. This is the first time I've had their Irish Breakfast tea. I've pretty much been sticking to Twinings. So today I have for you a book haul. These are going to be all the books that I collected during the third quarter of 2017, so from July through September. There's quite a few, but most of them I've read already. Also, it was my birthday in September, so I kind of went a little crazy with that and bought myself a lot of books. So let's get started. So the first instance when I bought books was my cousin's wedding in July. We went out to the Midwest, and so of course I had to make a trip to Half Price Books because I do not have one here on the East Coast in Maryland. So these are the books that I got when I went there. The first one is The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck. This is actually one that my boyfriend picked up, but his books are my books, and I actually bought this one, so it's technically mine. It's a classic that's definitely on my list. I have a lot of classics that I want to read, and John Steinbeck is definitely a part of those, so we'll see when I get to this one, if I ever do. The next one is The Dinner by Herman Koch. I heard about this book from Molly at Molly Reads, I think. It just sounded really interesting to me. I also know that this one recently came out as a movie, I think. I'm not really up to date on any of those things. It's definitely one that I've been interested in. Pretty much this is about two couples who I think their kids are friends in school or something, and the couples go out to dinner and pretty much just talk about their kids, and I think it's a little suspenseful, I guess. It's very much like the couples are very two-faced towards each other and things like that. So definitely something I'm interested in. Next one I picked up is Falling Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. I have not read this book yet, but it's definitely been one that I've been interested in for the past several years. I think I first heard about this one from Sasha at a Book Utopia. The way I understand this book is it's kind of like Game of Thrones, but YA centered, so it's a little bit easier to read. But it has like that political intrigue and the sort of inter-kingdom fighting that you have in Game of Thrones. So yeah, definitely interested in this one, and I think the series is finished now, so I can actually just pick up and read all of them. Alright, the next book I have is An Abundance of Catherines by John Green. I read this book several years ago, and I think I enjoyed it. I can't remember. So I did pick it up because I'd like to have it on my shelves. I think I now have all of them. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I have all of them now, including the short story collection that he did with Maureen Johnson and Lauren Miracle. And then his new book is out now, so you know, I have that one to read. I'm not buying that one. I got it from the library, so I'm gonna read that one first, and then I'll decide whether to buy it or not. So now I have completed my John Green collection. Alright, next I have Keeping the Moon by Sarah Dessen. I am slowly collecting all the Sarah Dessen books. I now have half of them, I think. I'm probably not going to get Dreamland. I did not like Dreamland. It was really difficult to read. It just wasn't as enjoyable as the other ones. And I'm also trying to get the old covers. I don't really like the new covers. And the last book I got at Half Price Books was The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh. This is a book that I have been wanting to pick up forever, especially the hardback, because I think the hardback is really pretty. And it's slightly annotated. Someone left like their stickers in it, so I'm really curious. Okay, so now we're on to my birthday splurge. Those are literally the only books I picked up. I picked up one more, but it was mostly for my boyfriend. The Great Hunt, which is book 2 of the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan. My boyfriend picked these up, has been picking them up like went off and on whenever he sees them. He got the first book from Barnes & Noble, and then the rest of them I think he got from my grandparents' house, because my grandparents had a ton of books in their basement, and now that they've both passed, we were cleaning out their basement and he was with us, and so we all kind of just took all the books that we wanted when we went there. And this book I saw, I mean, it was book 2, we don't have book 2, and it was only $1 or 25 cents or something at the library, so I went ahead and picked it up. These next books were kind of my splurge for myself for my birthday. So the first set of books I have are The Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy by Laini Taylor. These are the UK hardback covers that I really like. I've been looking at Abe's books for the last few months to kind of look at these ones, and it was hard because you can never tell what the books are going to be like. And I was really frustrated because I got in touch with all the sellers asking them if they had the dust jackets with them, because that was the primary reason I was buying those books, because I've been screwed on eBay before where the book was pictured with a dust jacket and it did not have the dust jacket, and that was the reason I was buying that book. So, you know, I was really upset. But of course, all the sellers came back and said that they don't have the book currently nearby because it's at the warehouse, so they can't tell me whether or not they have the dust jacket. So anyway, I took the risk and bought them anyway, and they're all relatively new. They're really not that bad. The only thing is, I didn't realize, so I knew that like UK books aren't very well made. I mean, I have a Brandon Sanderson book where the cover is peeling off and it's only been read once. And I also know that the spines, I can just tell when I open one of those books that the spines are not very well made. Well, hardcovers are no different. I open these up and I'm really afraid to crack the spine because as soon as I crack a spine, those pages are going to fall out. Which is not the case with US books. That's not the case at all. You can crack the spine and they'll last for a very long time. I think the only book that I've ever had that's fallen apart is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. And that's because for some reason that book is massive. I don't know why that's not the longest book in the series, yet it's the largest one. That book actually did fall apart. But I think that's because my mom read it in the bathtub a lot. So like the moisture just got into the spine. So when it cracked so much after 5 people reading it, of course it's going to fall apart. At least they'll look pretty on my shelves. The rest of these books I got on Book Outlet. I had kind of just gone on as a whim just to kind of see like, oh, let's see what books that they have that I'd like to have. Most of these are ones that I've read already. So that's kind of what I was looking for when I was looking at Book Outlet, because of course they had a ton of books that I've heard of that I'm interested in reading, but I was really just looking for ones that I had read that I wanted to have on my shelves. So the first of those is The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. I listened to these books on audio last year, I think, and I really enjoyed them. And I wanted to have my own set. I refuse to buy Fairest and Stars Above, though. I'm not going to buy those ones. Those books are worthless to me. If you don't know what these books are about, Cinder is basically a Cinderella retelling, but the girl is an android, so she's like part human, but she has robotic parts to her. So then, because I saw those ones, I was like, oh, I've been really wanting a copy of Since You've Been Gone since I read it. So I'm going to see if they have that one. Well, they did, but they only had it in the box set. So I was like, well, I really enjoyed Since You've Been Gone, and I've heard really good things about the rest of Morgan Mattheson's books. So I went ahead and I got rid of the little box thing, though, because I hate those things. I'm excited. I'm not going to get to these two, Second Chance Summer, Amy and Rogers, because I typically read contemporary in the summer. And then if you haven't read Since You've Been Gone, this one is about a girl whose best friend goes missing and she can't get in touch with her, but her friend left her a list of like dares to do while she's gone, and so she kind of goes through that list of dares in hopes that it'll bring her friend back. And then these two I don't know too much about. I think Second Chance Summer, I think somebody's dad dies, and then Amy and Rogers, I know that her dad dies and she and her mom are moving across country, but her dad died in a car accident, so she's really afraid, or maybe a plane accident, so she's really afraid to like fly or drive or something, but somebody has to drive the car across the country, so they get their next door neighbor to drive Amy and her car across country. Alright, last book that I have is Jellicoe Road by Melina Marchetta, and this is a book that I read a very long time ago. Both my sisters got their master's in library science, and one sister, she took a class on YA literature, and this was one of the books that she was assigned to read, and she told me it was really good, so I read it too, and I really enjoyed this one. There's a little bit of a mystery with it, so it was really fun to read for me. So basically, Taylor is an orphan, but she goes to this boarding school, and now she's kind of a top dog at the boarding school, and she's leading the underground boarding school community against the territory war with this group of boys called the Townies. In addition, the adult that she really trusts in her life at the boarding school has disappeared, and so it's kind of just like an exploration of herself and kind of her relationship with her mother who abandoned her. Pretty much a coming of age story. So it was definitely a really good book, and I highly recommend it. So there's all the books that I have acquired in the last 3 months. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching me show you all the books that I've acquired recently. If you've read any of these, especially the ones that I haven't read, and you want to tell me how you enjoyed them, or if you didn't enjoy them. And if you've read any of the ones that I have read and you want to talk about them, please leave a comment down below. I love talking to people in the comment section. That's like 2/3 of the reason that I'm here. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more bookish content from me, please subscribe. Until next time, I will talk to you all in the comments. Bye!